Thank you, sir. A very good afternoon to all of you. So now for a major part of the day, we've had extensive discussions regarding SMILE, both its advantages and the potential limitations. I just want to take this opportunity to discuss the Circle software, both the intended use as well as a tailored application that I have done in 2 cases of suction loss. I have no financial disclosure. Now we're all aware of the principle of the Circle software. It helps to convert the cap in SMILE into a flap, which then helps to offer a subsequent retreatment. So this is a small video which demonstrates the Circle scan. The femtolaser delivery begins from the cap and subsequent energy delivery peripherally converts it into a flap. This is then followed by the junction cut and the flap side cut. The next step, as in femtoLASIK, would be to delineate the side cut, which is done by entering vertically with a sharp-tipped instrument. While delineating the flap from the underlying stroma, one has to be cautious. It's not like a femto because there is still a chance that you might have a false passage creation between the initial cap and the subsequent flap. This is then followed by an excimer ablation of the underlying stroma to give you a retreatment in cases of undercorrection or regression post-SMILE. Now the next question is, can the application of the Circle software be extrapolated to other clinical conditions such as management of a case of repeated suction loss? So I have 2 interesting cases that I'd like to share with you wherein I use the Circle software. So the first was a case of suction loss which occurred during the SMILE procedure at the stage of the side cut. So this is the step of the anterior lenticule cut in the SMILE procedure. You can see that you can move on a little bit further, please. So this is the anterior cut. You can see that there is an irregularly enlarging tear film meniscus, which is a sign of an unstable suction. Although the suction was unstable, it was still adequate enough to complete the procedure and the entire femtosecond delivery. But what you'll note here is the superiorly encroaching conjunctiva, which has now interfered with the subsequent femtosecond laser delivery and has led to an uncut area. So you could see that, can you play please? You can see that clinically as well, wherein we're not able to find a side cut. We even tried to do so by gaining an access to the lenticule using a sharp-tipped blade, but were unable to do so. So what would be my option at this juncture? The only thing I could do would perhaps be to abort the procedure and carry out a surface ablation at a later date. So what I did instead was I used the Circle software to convert the pre-existing cap into a flap. So you can see again it begins from the initial cap and moves on. The important caveat to remember here is that when you're doing the delineation, you should do it at the posterior lenticular surface, because an anterior delineation could be associated with a false passage creation at the junction of the initial cap and the subsequent flap. The flap is then reflected and the stroma and the lenticule is peeled off from the undersurface of the cap. You could use a non-tooth forceps in order to stabilize the flap atraumatically. Another important thing is to ascertain the complete removal of the lenticule. You can see that there is a small sliver of tissue which is missing from the lenticule. This was subsequently removed, the interface was washed, and the flap was repositioned. The patient did well with a well-centered flap on postoperative day 1 and an unaided distance vision of 20/20. So this was another interesting case. Although it is an interesting case, it's probably a rarer case that would occur. This is wherein I used the Circle software to manage a case of repeated suction loss in a patient who presented with a femtosecond LASIK. So this is the first talk wherein after an adequate centration, we start with the delivery of the femtosecond laser. You can see that the flap cut is being formed, but because of slight movements of the patient, we have a loss of suction and are unable to complete the entire flap cut. So I proceed on to redog the patient. Because the newly formed cavitation bubbles would percolate into the previously formed cleavage pane, we begin with the same depth of the flap. In this case, we have now been able to complete the bed, but again, because of a repeated suction loss, we were unable to do the side cut. The next step now would be to move on with the side cut only approach. However, the machine requires you to have enough retreatment licenses, and unfortunately at this stage we had run out of retreatment licenses. So what are my options at this juncture? The use of a microkeratome would obviously be associated with the complications of a biplanar flap. We could start with a femtosecond LASIK all the way from the beginning with the same flap cut and the side cut, and again risk another suction loss. Or we could abort the procedure and do a surface ablation at a later date. I instead used the pattern A, or the side cut only approach of the Circle software. The only difference that I did was that I reduced the diameter of the flap by 0.5 millimeters in order to compensate for any variations that might have happened in the subsequent centration and docking. So this is the formation of the side cut using the Circle software pattern A. We fed in a 90-degree vertical side cut at the same depth as the original flap. The remaining procedure is the same as a femtosecond LASIK. You delineate the side cut, and I prefer to do the dissection of the flap from the underlying stroma in 3 vertical movements. This was then followed by an excimer laser of the underlying stroma. This patient again did well with a well-centered flap on the first post-operative day and an unaided distance vision of 2016. The only important caveat that one needs to remember here is that you have to have an ideal centration. You can see the centration of the patient on the 3 subsequent docks. The first 2 are at the steps of the suction loss, and the third when I used the Circle software to create the side cut. So in conclusion, I'd just like to say that the use of the Circle software can be extrapolated to some conditions wherein traditional methods would have failed and we probably would not have been able to complete the treatment in the same sitting. Thank you.